Somehow, the Fox News interview with a Reddit mod has gotten even worse. I'm shocked. This is my shocked face. Do you see it? This is what I look like when I'm shocked. Hello there, Internet. My name is Jimothy Jams. And today, I wanted to talk about a recent development in the case of everyone's favorite Reddit Janny, Doreen Ford. Now, if you've seen my last video where I talked about a Fox News interview with a moderator of r/Antiwork, you'll know that this person had one of the worst interviews possible. Seriously, their hair was a mess, their room was untidy, and they were just really bad at articulating all their points. Now, you might be wondering, well, surely it can't get any worse, right? Surely not, right? Well, dear viewer, much like my personal life, it does, and very much so. After the interview, some stuff came up about Doreen's past, and oh boy, it's pretty rough. In typical Redditor fashion, it turns out that Doreen, the Antiwork queen, is a bit of a sex pest, a Redditor sexual predator, if you will. Yes, a Facebook post was recently unearthed where Doreen addresses some allegations of sexual assaults. And now bear in mind, I have no idea when these events took place, and I have no idea when the post was made. But the fact that it was on the internet for a while, during which Doreen was an active moderator for r/Antiwork, and it's not a good look. It is bad optics for these subreddits. So with that out of the way, join me while I read you to sleep with the public statements of a sexual deviant in my soulful voice. The person accusing me of serial rape and I were involved in sexual conduct. This scenario involved alcohol on their part, but I had been informed, brackets, multiple times, that it wasn't a big deal, more brackets. They said they were only tipsy, and that they were consenting to what was happening. I took them at their word, and I will be more responsible in the future when it comes to alcohol and sex. I'm unaware of who I've allegedly raped besides the person making the accusation. The only person I can think of is a previous partner. I'll put their details in the comments. So if they can think of someone else, wouldn't you say that they are aware of someone they may have previously raped? Great start. Great fucking start. CW, abuse. What the fuck does CW stand for? Content warning? Makes sense. It should stand for cringe warning, because this person is very cringe. That's my headcanon, that it stands for cringe warning. I wrote this a long while ago, in case this situation ever happened. And sadly, here it is. So this is them just covering their ass, right? This is just damage control. This is like when someone knows they're about to get accused, so they come out and they tell the truth like a good, virtuous human being of society. But really, it's just somebody trying to minimize the damage to their reputation. I strive to be open and honest. Those who are close to me can verify that I exude those qualities more than any other. It's in that spirit that I make public certain past events within my life. If you feel as though you may not be able to deal with heavy content right now, I recommend avoiding this post. I want to discuss a history I have with someone that I used to know. This was a person with whom I had an ongoing sexual relationship and living arrangement. Eventually, a mix of fundamentally incompatible needs, past trauma unrelated to me, yet, and my issues with impulsive control resulted in a very unhealthy dynamic between us. Due to my dislike of call-out culture, this person will remain anonymous. Yeah, see, I think if they're only saying they dislike call-out culture because they're the ones being called out. And if the roles were reversed, they'd happily be the ones to call out people. But regardless, anyone who knows who this is advised against contacting this person. Which does make sense, because in the one post from earlier, they said they'll put someone's details in the comments. This individual had past trauma from previous relationships that caused emotional and physical distance between us over the course of months. This led to my needs going unmet, which led to masturbation as an unhealthy coping mechanism. Alright, look. Male or female, right? Don't we all have to jerk off or flick the bean once in a while to kind of, release some tensions? right? How is I mean, unless you're a chronic masturbator, how is masturbation, like, if it's not in excess, which it probably is in this case, an unhealthy coping mechanism? I mean, we all got to bust a nut once in a while, right? It's normal, it's human. After months of trying to keep myself in check, I began sporadically masturbating while they slept next to me or by themselves. Even though they stated that this made them uncomfortable, these events continued to happen until I sought help through therapy. That's rough. That's really rough. So, who the fuck does that? That's some creep shit. That is some real creep shit. Jerking off next to a person. And they know it makes them uncomfortable, and yet they do it anyway. It's not looking good so far. I had woken up one morning with them laying next to me, and remembering they felt uncomfortable with me masturbating next to them while they slept. Gee whiz, I wonder why. Really boggles the mind. I can't imagine why anyone would have an issue with that. I placed their hand over my boxers. They moved their hand away and thought nothing had what happened and fell back asleep. They later woke up and mentioned to me that they had a nightmare involving that series of events. I admitted that it had happened, apologized, and explained that I was half asleep and was not in full control of my actions. I was half asleep and not in full control of my actions. Now, I've never, in my entire life, in my entire existence upon this earth, have I ever tried to molest somebody in my half asleep state. Yeah. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm an outlier, or maybe this person is an example of a sleep molester. It's like sleepwalking, but instead of being asleep and just walking around, you molest people. A sleep diddler, right? But pretty much, yeah. This is bullshit. This is a bullshit excuse. Lastly, the previously mentioned coping mechanism resulted in this person creating alarms for us so we wouldn't fall asleep together, and thus boundary violations would be minimized. Much to my retrospective disgust, my desperation for emotional intimacy led me to shut off the alarms at various points. Ooh, we gotta unpack this one. So this person's partner was being jerked off to, like, while they were asleep. They were being, like, groped while they were asleep. And it got to the point where they had to set alarms so they wouldn't fall asleep together. That's crazy. That's literally insane. And the creepy thing is, they know all this makes them uncomfortable, but they still, they go to the efforts of switching off these alarms so they can continue the abuse. That's disgusting. That's really awful shit. To be dead honest with you. Holy fuck. And by this point, right, why don't they just break up? I mean, maybe it's the whole cycle of abuse and all that stuff. But I don't know. I like to think that if it were me and this shit was happening to me, I'd just be like, look, buddy, we've had a great run. It's not me, it's you and your need for emotional intimacy. And also the masturbating thing. That's mainly what it's about. It's the masturbating. And then I'd say, look, we've had a good run. You do, but and I'll always you cherish our time together. But I think we should see other people. So GG, buddy. When I learned how much these harmed this person, I soon after went to therapy. Thereafter, I was better able to cope with my impulsive tendencies and thus consistently respect their boundaries. Well, gee whiz, it sounds like this person's gone to a lot of therapy, and by the looks of it, it hasn't really helped. Resulting from my remorse, I made a financial contribution to an organization dedicated to helping people in an alternative but abusive relationships. There was discussion between me and this individual of helping with therapy costs. However, given my economic status and their insurance coverage, we decided against it. As well, I've used that unhealthy dynamic as a way to improve myself. My relationships since this one have been healthy and mutually beneficial as a result. If I had a controller right now, I'd be pressing X to doubt. These events have led me to suffer several symptoms of PTSD, sporadic suicidal ideation, and self-esteem loss. I've done my best to heal by privately talking to multiple friends about this, but I think I need to do more than that. So I'm not a psychomonologist, right? But I don't think this person has PTSD. I think this person is a bit of a narcissist or an egomaniac or something, and what they're experiencing is guilt. I mean, because who the fuck molests somebody and then has PTSD about molesting people? That doesn't seem like a real thing. Throughout my life, I've striven to be a respectful and compassionate person. That means that when others are clear about their boundaries, I want to be sensitive to and respectful of them. And that if I discover after the fact that I've violated someone's boundaries, I want to apologize and make amends, as I have tried to do for this individual. So this person has contradicted themselves a little bit, I feel like, because they've just said that they respect people's boundaries and they feel bad and they apologize when they've violated their boundaries. But yet, they've just admitted to violating the boundaries of their partner. So not only does this person violate someone's boundaries, but they take actions so that they can continue to violate someone's boundaries. So it doesn't really seem like they are actually respectful of someone's boundaries. Even so, in this case, and in the context of an ongoing sexual relationship, I engage in behavior that, because of this person's history, pushed very sensitive buttons related to prior trauma. I am embarrassed and regretful that even after learning how much it harmed them, I still engaged in it after the fact. And that's the really sad thing about this. That this person had already gone into this relationship with trauma from past relationships, and this relationship has also probably given them a lot of trauma. Fuck me, what a piece of shit, man. This person is such a piece of fucking shit. Holy crap. And to me, I don't think they're embarrassed or regretful that they, after learning how much it's affected this person, that they continue to persist with this behavior. I think they're embarrassed and regretful that they got caught out on it. I do not know what coming forward with this information will do, but I hope everyone can still trust me to do what is right and hold myself responsible and accountable when I make mistakes. Well, obviously, no one can trust you to do that. Because, I mean, they only made this post because they were getting accused. They were getting, allegations laid against them. Right? If no one called them out, if no one gave them shit for this, would they have come forward? Would they have be clear about their history of abuse and just disgusting behavior? I personally don't think so. I think if nothing happened, they would have continued to do this. And this one's a kicker. The only comments I'll be accepting on this thread are clarifying questions and constructive criticisms that are coming from a good and supportive place. Shaming me in an attempt to show that my actions were wrong is both unproductive and unnecessary, as I am well aware of my actions and their lack of morality. I'm sorry for any harm this information causes those close to me. Oh, please don't be mean to me. Anything but meanness. I know I raped and molested people and abused people who already had trauma from previous relations. But please don't say mean things about me. Don't insult me. Don't call me an asshole. Jesus Christ. And here's the real sad thing. There's a comment, right, on this post, and it just says, "I love you and I think you're a wonderful person." And that whoever made that comment is just as fucking crazy as this person is fucking disgusting. What the fuck is it with Reddit and having moderators that are just sexual predators? I swear, do some of these subreddits have like requirements? Are they interviewing people and being hey, listen, buddy, it says here on your resume that you only molest women, and for this subreddit we're looking for a child molester. So thank you for applying. Really appreciate it. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors, but we think we're going to go in a different direction. Why is it so hard to just background check these motherfuckers to sort of see is this person a sicko or not? And this isn't an isolated thing. I mean, there's a whole meme about Reddit mods or Discord mods being sexual predators, going on after kids, being groomers, extorting news from women. It's a very serious problem, I think. This whole situation is just such a fucking mess, man. It started as just something funny, like, oh, look at this Reddit Johnny on Fox News. Oh, their rooms on Saudi, lol. They look like shit. Their answers are weak as fuck. But then, yeah, it got to a dark place. This got really fucked up. So that's pretty much it. I know it's a bit of a gloomy fucking topic, Jesus Christ. But if you made it this far, hey, you're a champ. Everyone fucking round of applause. But I would appreciate it if you liked the video. Drop some comments. Maybe hit a cheeky subscribe. Because that would help me a lot, and I'd be forever indebted to you. So, with that being said, as always, I've been Jimothy Jams, and fuck off.